If you know, you know. And if y'all know, from day one, I've been preaching that Terence Crawford will be pound for pound number one. And I'm looking like a prophet the way my predictions are turning out to be, since I made that predictions years ago as soon as I laid my eyes on Terence Crawford. Now, Teddy Atlas and Max Kellerman had Terence Crawford as a guest on First Take, and they both stated that Terence Crawford is the best switch hitter that they had ever seen. Keep in mind, there have been a lot of great switch hitters in the sport of boxing, such as Salvador Sanchez, such as Hagler, and many more. That being said, we even had the great Andre Ward that retired not too long ago. So that's a huge compliment by Teddy Atlas and Max Kellerman. Teddy Atlas even went as far as saying that Terence Crawford is the best instinct fighter he ever seen, which, in my opinion, I would say that would probably be Floyd Money Mayweather or Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, in my opinion, had one of the best instinct in boxing history, and so did Floyd. However, Terence is there also. However, apparently Crawford did sign a retirement contract with Bob Arum. Maybe that's why, out of the blue, both Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas came out and made those type of compliments in front of Terence Crawford's face. Ironically enough, Teddy Atlas was the same guy years ago who told Terence and Andre Ward to their face after Terence became undisputed at 140, winning by KO, and Andre Ward knocking out the Crusher Kovalev when people said he robbed him the first time. So Ward was hands down pound for pound number one at the time. Terence Crawford was number two. And Teddy Atlas out of nowhere made a bogus statement stating that they not competing with each other. They competing with Vasily Lomachenko for the pound for pound number one spot. A guy at the time with 8 fights with 1 loss, which he ended up not revenging against Salido, trying to lowball Salido in the rematch, which he ended up not taking that fight. So that being said, Teddy Atlas was claiming that Lomachenko was pound for pound number one then, and they both, Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas, still claiming that Lomachenko is pound for pound number one now. I believe Max Kellerman keep flip-flopping. However, Teddy Atlas still has Terence Crawford as number 2 and Lomachenko as number 1. And Max Kellerman, I'm not too sure what his list looked like today, but he keeps saying that Crawford is pound for pound number 1A and Lomachenko is pound for pound number 1B, which is completely BS. There's no such thing. Either you number 1 or you ain't. There's no benefit of the doubt when it comes to a pound for pound number 1 position. So that being said, if Teddy Atlas believes that Crawford is the best instinct fighter of all time and the best switch hitter of all time, and Bob Arum stated that Crawford has the best talent from all his fighters, including Lomachenko, it's just that Lomachenko is more marketable, then how come ESPN has Crawford as pound for pound number 2? How come Teddy Atlas still has Lomachenko as pound for pound number 1 when he stated that Terence Crawford has the best instinct in boxing, period? Obviously, Terence Crawford has one of the best defenses in boxing history and possibly the best defensive fighter today. And to make matter worse, Terence Crawford has way more power than a guy like Lomachenko, for example. He stopped his last 5 opponents. 3 of his last 4 opponents were undefeated. And last but not least, Crawford is undefeated. He haven't lost since he turned pro. Meanwhile, Lomachenko did so. And Terence Crawford is not ducking any smoke. Matter of fact, he even calling out Canelo Alvarez. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Lomachenko gave up his strap to avoid a 20-year-old Devin Haney and turned down a fight with Manny Pacquiao, the fight that Terence Crawford is chasing. So, who is really pound for pound number 1? Who really has the better talent? I mean, Terence Crawford even called out Lomachenko. He stated that if y'all believe Lomachenko is pound for pound number one, then we could fight and link at 137 at a catchweight when Crawford was fighting at 140 at the time. So Lomachenko had nothing to say then, and he don't have nothing to say now. And even Lomachenko acknowledged that. So Crawford accomplished something that Lomachenko is still trying to accomplish till this day, which is to become undisputed at 135 like Crawford did at 140, which Loma can't even do so. He could no longer do so because obviously he didn't give up his strap to avoid a Devin Haney. So how are you going to explain Lomachenko being pound for pound number one over Terence Crawford? And that question is obviously for both Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. Since now, after they got backlash from stating that Lomachenko is pound for pound number one, from Crawford not being promoted the same way Lomachenko is being promoted, and Tyson Fury, from Teddy Atlas getting backlash of stating that Lomachenko is pound for pound number one at the time over Ward and Terence Crawford. I mean, the audacity and the disrespect to say that to their face after accomplishing such a great achievement. How is Teddy Atlas and Max Kellerman is gonna justify making the contradictions they have been doing lately? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, Max Kellerman is the same guy that stated that Gennady Golovkin was the man, then agreed with new media and what we have been preaching for the past 5 years after Gennady Golovkin got exposed and he could no longer defend Gennady Golovkin. And I could even go back as far as Max Kellerman trying to put Gennady Golovkin on by telling Tyson that the most incredible fighter in the boxing game was Gennady Golovkin, which obviously Max Kellerman got clowned by Tyson at the time, and Tyson told him, Pacquiao is special, Gennady Golovkin, there is nothing special with him. And new media stayed being corrected for the 1,000th time in 1 month alone. So that being said, Max Kellerman is the same guy that said Donaire, if he was at 147, he will be the favorite against Floyd Mayweather. And then we all saw what Rigondeaux did to him after that. So that being said, I just don't understand Teddy Atlas and Max Kellerman making those comments and praising Crawford. However, they turn around and state Lomachenko is pound for pound number one. However, I do understand because Lomachenko is a fighter from the hopeless and Terence Crawford is a fighter from the coincidentalist. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a coincidence. It's actually planned out. So, that being said, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't and listen to old media. Click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live on Split Decision. And we will be going live on Split Decision this week. So call in, tune in. We could agree to disagree and we could debate. Or y'all could just show love and be part of the Akhi and the Akhi family, which is the brotherhood family. So subscribe, follow Lunatoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. I will leave his link in the description box below. So follow his IG and keep it a G, and follow my man Lunatoon because he too part of the new media movement. Shout out to DBN. Shout out to Dante for starting the new media wave. Shout out to Dante for giving me the opportunity to post on his platform. He believed in his Akhi, and you best believe his brother ain't finna disappoint. So to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV, and peace, and we out.